I'm going to tell you the 3 ways I know how to buy land in Alaska. So the first option I recommend is getting in touch with a local realtor that you trust for a land purchase here in Alaska. It's starting to rain here. And I like to use personal referrals for anything like dentists, eye doctors, general doctors. They're really important, especially as you get older. We're going to be harvesting some Devil's Club today. So we're going to take you guys along and keep talking about the land here in Alaska and how you can purchase it. The DNR has a fantastic website where they have 4 programs. I'm so excited because that's how we purchased our land, to talk to you about how to do that. All right, ready? This is Devil's Club, and we make salves out of this. Ooh, those are pokey. So Lily found some, what are these called, Lily?
High bush currants.
High bush currants, and she's gonna have a little snack here, guys. Some lunch. Nice. Nice. So there's 4 programs. The first one is agricultural land, and that is for residents and non-residents. There is also over-the-counter land purchase, and that is also for residents and non-residents. There are 2 land programs for residents only, and that is going to be your remote cabin staking program. And the other program that is for residents only is the land auction. So that's a total of 4 land programs to look into, depending on if you're a resident or a non-resident. Okay, so I wrote this out for you guys. You're going to go to this web address right here. Then you're going to go to the divisions and offices section. Then you're going to click on Division of Mining, Land, and Water. Go to Land Sales, and then you'll see the 4 options where you can get more details on that website. So we are liming our garden, guys, today, and we're going to take you with us to keep talking about real estate, and we're getting prepped for our next year's garden. We're amending the soil. So the most exciting part, if you have poor or bad credit, is they don't check that at all. They only want the 5% of the purchase price of the land. And when we purchased our land years ago, we had poor credit. So that was a great option for us to get in, buy some land in the state of Alaska, and be excited about it. So I always recommend getting a legal professional to look over your paperwork because it is a contract. Very important. And most of these programs offer a 5, 10, 15, or 20-year loan, which is wonderful. And the interest rates usually at the time of contract through DNR are 3% plus the going prime rate. So the DNR program is really great, and it will offer you road access or fly-in only and all sorts of options. But something to remember is you do not want to purchase anything that has been on a flood zone or that is in a flood zone or that has muskeg. So be very, very cautious. And as any contract, make sure that you make your payments and you make them on time, or they can absolutely take your land back. So be very careful and know the contract inside and out so you don't lose your land. And if you are interested in the agricultural land, which is what we bought, it is a wonderful, affordable way to get a lot of land, but there will be requirements to fill, like clearing the land before you can legally own the property. So make sure you fully understand that as well. Woo! This fertilizer is rich, right from the chicken coop. So although buying land in the state is super, super exciting, you still want to put your emotions aside and focus on logic and make sure you're doing your homework. Some land in Alaska is cheap for a reason. And if you don't have a bush plane, don't buy land without road access unless you know that you can get there. Be very careful that you know how you're going to access your land. The next thing we're going to talk about, because Alaska is so cold, that heaving is a very big problem here in this state, especially if you want to build on soil that heaves in the wintertime. A great example is this stump. We cut this stump down in the middle of winter where we dug down to the soil, which at wintertime was about right here in the winter when it was frozen. And look how much the soil dropped, almost a good foot, because when it froze, it did heaving and it heaved up to right about here. And the stump is evidence and kind of proof to you of what it does in the wintertime. So you want to be very aware of the term heaving of your soil before you build. So we have talked about, number one, finding a reliable local realtor. Number two, the Department of Natural Resources ways to buy land here in Alaska. And the third resource I know is the Alaska Mental Health Trust, which I will leave a web address right above here so you guys can look at that. That's a really similar program to the DNR. I'm not as familiar with it as I've never bought land through it. However, it's the third way you can buy land here in Alaska. And a great video I did not too long ago is how to buy land. I highly recommend watching that video because I go over all the small little detailed things to be aware of that doesn't always necessarily get spoken about or is not always talked about. And on my how to buy land video, I also try and share with you guys what I have learned and my family has learned as we've bought land through the years. Some of the great things we've learned and also some of the things I wish we would have learned before we even purchased the land. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me any questions you may have and have fun shopping. We'll see you on the next video.